This is Jordan Tower with JT. Just make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right, so we got Tiana Taylor talking about, man, she is connected in the industry, meaning she has high power friends. They keep her going in this industry. Yeah, you could call this hate all you want, but like, she really gets like these sweetheart deals, you know, like, oh yeah, you do the dancing for NBA YoungBoys tour and all that. Like, you know, this is where it all comes down to, you got to have good relationships, you know, and you got to maintain them. And I think she does that, and that keeps her. It's not a diss because she is talented. She can dance, she can sing. Okay, it's just like, it just seems. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, but like, it seems like it's not really impactful, but she is talented. There's plenty of people that are talented, but they're not as impactful. She just kind of coasts along and stays rich. But yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But yeah, she actually put together I think the set for NBA YoungBoys tour, that's interesting. Then we got Lizzo teaming up with Big X The Plug. I don't know what they're probably working on something together, but she says the biggest in the game. You know what I was shocked to find out? And Big X The Plug said this himself. It's not like it was a secret, right? It wasn't like a secret ghostwriter. It definitely wasn't a ghostwriter. He didn't even write that song. He says he hired somebody else to write it because he didn't want all his songs to sound the same. You know, I do respect him being honest about it. You know, not hiding it. Like, yo, no, this is me. He is proud of collaborating with other people to make his art the best for his listeners. Because I don't think anybody else could deliver it the way he did, you know. Then we got the actual text. I guess Dave Blunt's is trying to save face here. I think that basically that they just had creative differences. Like Kanye, as we've seen how he treats people horribly, right? That work under him. And Dave Blunt's probably just reached his breaking point. Like, I can't do this anymore. You know, this is like, one day he's positive, one day he's negative, one day he's like treating me like a worker. And so he says, yeah, I can no longer continue to work on this album. I'm going on my own journey, and it does not align with what you want me to do. I appreciate the opportunity, but respectfully, I'm out. Kanye says, okay, thank you. What are the parts that didn't align? He did keep it real, though. Kanye is very lost, and he needs to find God. Hey, man, at least he kept it real. Right? I'll give him that. I'm not a huge Dave Blunt fan, but at least he was honest about it, and at least he had the guts to just end it and move on, you know, on his terms. I'll give him that. Okay? I thought Kanye just got rid of him, but it seems like he did leave on his own terms. Sometimes you got to do that. Like, yeah, this isn't real. This is like distracting to what I'm doing. It's taking me off of my mission. And plus, Kanye is not the best person to be aligned with right now. I don't care if you. I think a lot of what Kanye does is personal and it's divisive, but it's personal with him. Like, you know, the Adidas thing. It invoked an emotion towards a group of people that of one religion, you know, and it really is hurtful to some people that have nothing to do with his gripe with Adidas, you know, and his gripe with the music industry. That's his personal experience, you know, and then anybody who works with him at that point, they get the blowback as well because you're aligned. They look at it as you're aligning yourself with Kanye. Who knew Akon was actually married? I know he has multiple wives, supposedly, but who knew he was married for 30 years? 30 years. So Akon's wife has been legally married for 28 years. Tamika Tiam has filed for divorce just days before their anniversary. While Akon has often claimed to have multiple wives, Tamika is the one who's been legally married since 1996. This is before he was even big. According to court documents, Tamika cites irreconcilable differences and says that Akon they have a 17-year-old child, and she's asking for joint legal custody. For what, 1 year? Primary physical custody and spousal support. For one, I guess, spousal support. So she'll get money for a certain amount of time. Requesting the court to block any spousal support to Akon. Huh? Why would he get spousal support? Okay. Well, she's not asking for half. She's just asking for assistance. So apparently the government's going to go to Memphis and deploy National Guards to help out Memphis. Memphis is a war zone. Memphis, I think Jacksonville's calmed down. Am I wrong? Maybe not. There's a lot of places that could use assistance, man. I don't know. It's like, I think everybody has the right to peace and to operate their businesses without getting looted and stuff like that. I think that should be a right for paying taxes, don't you think? I'm not for divisiveness or anything like that, but you do have the right to peace, right? If you're running a business, you should not worry about somebody burglarizing your business during the day and smash and grabs, That's without any penalty. Camron asked about Jim Jones and if they can fix the situation. He had an interesting response. His response basically was Jim Jones so Dipset was really formed in 2001, even though Jim Jones and Camron were a duo, meaning Jim Jones was his hype man. He commended Jim Jones for starting it as his hype man, then becoming a video director, then becoming a rapper. He says the hustle's impeccable. But he says, if you really look at it, from 2001, when Dipset was formed, to 2007, when they had their first breakup, that's a 6-7 year run, right? He says. And the first reunion happened in 2010. They've had a few reunions since then, and they're good. But he says, technically, we've been fighting for longer than we've been unified. And you just got to question, like, maybe it's run its course. I always have my respect for Jim Jones. He says, as far as the flare-ups this year, he says it's probably coming from when I had 50 Cent on on the show. I wanted to know how 50 Cent was able to infiltrate my friends who we weren't saying eye to eye at the time, but have them go on his side. And, 50 Cent talks about how he put the carrot out there for Jim Jones just to see if he'd take it. And he did, saying like, let me see if Jim Jones, he says, I didn't really know, but I put it out there and Jim Jones took the bait. He liked that. He says, every time I gave him a little props on the diss song, I saw him, he liked that stuff. So I invited him and he came, and that was that. So it shows that Jim Jones is weak and a snake. That's why Jim Jones is upset and been fighting it for 6 months. It's true. G Herbo says his comments about the National Guard coming to Chicago and helping wasn't political. It was just really kids, safety for kids and everything else. He says, I don't align with any political side. I align for people's rights and kids' rights to peace and not being killed. That's a good response. Jim Jones and Jewels, they're launching this Dipset wear at a store. That's going on in Papoose and Clarissa Shields. They're doing their little run on their relationship and how they used to write poems together, and now they're going to release a poem book. Okay. Cool. We'll get to this after that because it's too long. But anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I will check you guys in the next one. I hope you guys are having a great day, and thank you so much for watching. Please support. Leave a comment below. Let me know where you're watching from. How about that? Let's do that today again.